Good evening, Free Enterprise fans. Welcome to our last race in the play-in round of the Lali-Ho League bracket stage. I'm joined in the booth by the man in black himself, Martin Broadcloak. How are you doing tonight?
I am fantastic, Leonhardt. You ready for a game 3? You ready to finish this week off the right way?
I'm ready for them to tie, and let's go straight into game 4 right after.
I'm all for it. Team Free Enterprise, let's go.
Now, before we get bonked by Scott and the rest of the admins,
I know nothing. Yeah, before that, let's also give a shout out to our people behind us putting in all the effort in Dathis and Xeno. Xeno protecting the buttons from wild possums, and Dathis managing the dumpster fire as best he can. So
yeah, and Dathis also put out in the objective list.
Oh, look at that.
Big shout out to a viewer.
Hey.
Shouts out the restreamer and tracker every single race they watch. Shout out to Berserk Now for all the shout outs.
I can agree with that. I can honestly say every race I've watched that Berserk is definitely there talking about the people behind the skeins. So that, yeah, big shout
absolutely.
out to Berserk for all that. But let's get to this seed, because I see a Sid.
Yeah, and a Sid start, you do like to see it. He's got a good hit point pool. He might have a decent weapon on his own, and we might find something in his grab bag kit that makes him a little better. That could be a solid piece to start with.
And if we don't, hey, that objective number 4, I'm okay with finding that to improve our party too, because that's
right?
always a welcome addition to any party. Is the old man back from vacation himself.
Yeah, just knowing that it's very likely you're going to have to pick up a foo before you wrap things up is definitely going to be on your mind as you're working through this and considering your party composition.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for those who don't know, this is game 3. As you see King G out there, we've got one lid up on each side. So not that this is win or go home, because I mean it could be a tie. It could happen.
Could be.
But somebody is, before this night is over, somebody unfortunately is going home.
Denari, I'm pretty sure I'm older than Martin. So be careful with that comment.
I mean, I haven't been carbon dated in a while, so I don't know. I'm not sure. But hey, I see black screens. I think
let's go.
It's go time. It's go time. The important part, the best part always is the starting kit, and it's an old man.
That's not the old man we're looking for.
No, it isn't. And what did I spotted a rune axe and not
an hourglass. Yeah, Slackaholicus.
Yeah.
A slower look at that kit.
I'm not against it. Rune axe is fantastic. It's probably Sid's widely considered best starting weapon. So that and hourglass too. I mean, you're not going to buy a lot. 23,000, that is almost the low end of your starting kit, but yeah, the rune axe will let you do some interesting, especially with an hourglass. My brain immediately gravitates to Eblin.
Yeah,
I see a rune axe. I think of Mad Ogres.
Yeah, hourglass will let you deal with one of those.
Yeah,
let that be handled very quickly.
Yeah,
being an exit mage also opens a lot of options.
Yeah, and obviously we're seeing it on Wu side. Probably gonna full loot Watery Pass. Now they have an easy way out.
Well, chat, are you team Rune Axe or team Poison Axe? Because we've got both of those options. Any of you are team Silver Hammer, you get the bonk.
And I saw a kid in the bed. It looked like the Quack kid was taking a nap in bed there. So
that Aegis shield isn't going to work with either of those axes. Although that dip into the inventory tells me a samurai shield's there too.
And Wu using his exit J item to actually get out rather than casting exit with Tella. So possibly just to clean up inventory. You'll notice that in a lot of the beginning game is hey, we're gonna loot all sorts of stuff. You're not really gonna shop like too off of. That's a lights. Wow, that
okay, and a sword robe. That's pretty good too. Pass is good times.
Yeah, Watery Pass is widely considered one of the better locations to loot in this T Pro setting. So it's always nice when you spike something as a little reward for doing the right thing.
Yeah, Slackaholicus is going to take the floor loot, and we'll see if anything in the middle measures up to what was in the front and back. That's a tall.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you're seeing on Wu's side, those 0 GP chests, depending where you loot, those can be very prevalent in where you go. And it's never a great feeling when you sit in there. It's like, open chest 0, great. Open another chest 0. Okay, this isn't funny anymore.
Yeah, it looks like Wu maybe got bailed out a little bit by some Medusa arrows, which can be nice in the right spot, but still, it's a bit of an oomph.
Yeah.
Kind of like the middle of this Watery Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Power staff is that dancing dagger is now the most impressive thing I saw.
Yeah, no, it's actually a very good item depending on who we see on Hobbs. It may, not that I'm gonna say finding Ed would be a bad thing, but in this flag set, Ed's kind of a bad thing. So at least we have a weapon for him. We're getting a quick little spy at the waterfall. We know that fight. That's a lot of blue robes. Yeah,
goodbye.
That's a lot of blue robes.
We're out.
So that is our beginning and end of our waterfall visit. So enjoy your bath. We'll never see you
Gauntlet
again.
isn't out of the pool. It just moved from one pool to another.
I see what you did there. It's early enough. I'll allow it.
Gearing up.
Yep, some cool little inventory maintenance.
Iron armor on somebody.
Once
technically better than nothing.
Once again, this goes back to just inventory spots, because the inventory boss does rear its head, and it does cost you time. So if you're going to open up a slot, sure, why not put on the iron armor? I'm fine with it. I'm also fine with
that
the Dark Knight
lightsaber.
Cecil. Yeah. Oh, and not only a lightsaber, but did you see the red sword on Cecil? We know what that signifies.
That's Deathbringer.
That is the black sword. That is Cecil's best starting weapon is DKC. So you may see its special property taken advantage of here at some point.
Yeah, depending on what bosses we come up with along the way.
Mm-hmm. Very much
Cecil is one of the few characters that will benefit from this Sea Neki flag from time to time. Practically anything's better than Shadow Sword, but when you get that black sword, it feels really good.
Yeah, it can do some very nice early game things. So, and well, if one wasn't enough, here has two. So there you go.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
Yeah, some more Medusa arrows, obviously. So the early game here is not going to be a challenge. You have a Black Sword Cecil, you have a Rune Axe Cid with a bandana. A lot of things are going to melt as soon as you approach them. So,
and if that's not good enough, you've got Blinks on Tella to help see you through that last bit.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like we have some catching up here as both of them are walking the path to Antlion. You notice obviously they're not really looting. No real surprise there. So
Wewbear does want to take the save inside and therefore loot chests there, but Slack saved out and it's just going straight.
I'm not against it. Every once in a while you find a rude boss down here that, okay, it saves you a little bit of time, but also that Black Sword, you're about to see it work to great effect here as Slack just demonstrated. So
with the amount of hit points in this location, a back row glitched Cid is effectively swinging a black sword too, and down, boom, boom.
Yep, just like that. So, and rewarded with a rock.
That is half of Forge.
I'm not against it. I'm kind of against it. You like to find an item that maybe points you a direction. You know, whether it be like a Baron key, a magma, you know, just something along those lines. I love the fact it's half an objective, but it doesn't like give me an idea on where I should be going next. Because we still have Fabul on the table, we've got Ordeals with a Cecil, we have Baron in, so I mean, it's there's choices involved here.
Yeah, although Slack is being pulled over to Ordeals, and with Tella and a light sword, you felt that already.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. I mean, usually one or the other is enough to kind of pull you to Ordeals, but having both and a weapon when Cecil gets upgraded, yeah, you're kind of like, this is the top of my list of what I want to do, so.
Though it looks like Wewbear's gonna fight that trend and go to Fabul.
Oh, there you go. Maybe check a couple shops here, maybe look for some, well, that's not a bad shop. So,
no.
couple Starveils, couple vampires. As you all noticed, 23,000 goes really fast.
Very, very quickly. Now, we do get some gold along the way.
So,
you get gold to fight.
Yep,
we don't get anything from selling, which is how most of us are used to funding our shopping sprees by first and our loot goblin.
Yeah, you definitely learn to kind of manage. I mean, because of this flag set and it's 20 to 80,000 that you start with, you know, you kind of bank on the fact when you're playing the seed, I'm going to hit somewhere in the 50,000, kind of come up with a plan what you're going to spend it on. If you high roll, fantastic. If you low roll, though, sometimes that gets complicated. Because, I mean, we all want to buy sirens, hourglasses, Bacchus wines, you know, things of that nature. How do you afford them on 23K? That doesn't work.
Right. So Wewbear's going for a life glitch, but I'm curious to see how hard this rune axe hit.
About that hard.
Ends the fight now.
About that hard.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
I don't think that life glitch.
Though that 1700 did actually need the bump from the black sword to get the job.
Yep.
18 change in that spot.
Yeah, I mean, Axis is notoriously, you know, variant in terms of damage anyways, but still, that's a solid number.
Well, that is one half of the other two-part objective with the pink tail.
Yeah. So once again, it's another great item to find, but it's still not, you know, kind of giving you direction on what you're doing next. So, but Wu gonna head up to Ordeals. Not a surprise there. So, but speaking of Ordeals,
oh yeah, this is a rude Baigan. I mean, he's gonna get through it. He's just not gonna be happy.
Yeah, back row Sid with that axe. I mean, this is a done deal.
Cut down the body. You don't waste them on the arms.
I will say, personal opinion, I think Baigan's probably one of the worst enemies to find in any physical location in the game. So I'm very happy to see Baigan here. Even if it's
absolutely.
Spot, yeah, no more Baigan.
Absolutely
in the
better here than on the moon.
Yep.
Baigan isn't marked off on my tracker, and I'm about to go into the moon. I'm like,
yeah.
There are several bosses that'll make me go, people fear the turtle, and Baigan is not to be underestimated.
No, as we see by the reset from Slack, yeah.
Even in this early spot, guarding.
Now the good
might not even be a necessary location in terms of routing, but with that lightsaber in your pocket and that Ella in your party, it feels necessary.
It's the character upgrades that make it completely worthwhile. So this, yeah.
And the vampire arm is the really insidious part of it. Like planning a quick blink with Tella, for instance, to protect Sid.
Yeah,
vampire still going straight through.
I was gonna say not only that, but possibly going into your inventory using some. I mean, you know, if you have a J item, this is a fight that would be worth throwing it at. So,
yeah, absolutely. Wewbear picked up a couple of vampires on his trip, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them broken out fast.
Yeah.
Wewbear charging across without the save. Still in the back row.
Yeah, the only scary part about this for Wu is that, you know, obviously with all your party in the front row, those swings are going to hurt, and they add up fast when there's 3 of them coming at you. So
Yeah, they do.
That Grimoire, though, that could be something.
Yeah.
If it fires.
If it gets signed to fire, and if it doesn't, Chocobo, Rama,
that's acceptable.
Don't think it clears, but it gives us a moment while Bygone's forced to regrow his arms.
Looks like Slash.
Fortunately, he got an entangle on Sid, and that's rough.
Yeah, that definitely cuts your damage.
He's coming in for time 3. Oof.
So I think what's Slack looking at doing here? Probably setting something up here.
Yeah. No, I didn't know if that heal was going to work. Today I learned.
I mean, we've been playing this game for how long, and we're still learning things, so...
What makes it great?
Yeah. It's always something different.
Into the back row is not going to help you against those explosions, Wewbear, but I suspect that was preemptive before he knew the bombs were coming.
Mm-hmm. And Woo is through.
Hey!
So that's...
It's done.
It's rude, it's ugly, there's words, but you know what? Goodbye, Bygon. I'll have to see you again in this seed, so that makes me happy.
No, you're not punished for saving once. What's the worst that could happen? Although, honestly, this spot compared to the spot where is...
I was gonna say, careful what you wish for. So,
let's see. Golbez, paralyze everyone, eat Sid. Yeah, Cecil still got 600 hit points on a light sword.
Yep. So that hook with Woo doing Eblin already. The running joke about the pink tail is that it's always a white shirt until it isn't. I'm not against a white shirt, but I think we all know what we would love to see from that pink tail.
Well, I mean, my thing with pink tail is that 3 out of 8 times it's a great Cecil sword. So I tend to look at it.
Or a great Cecil weapon. I mean, even an Artemis bow. I'm not.
Oh, now we're up to 4.
Yeah, I'm not against the idea. So.
Yeah, I mean, you've got your Crystal Sword, you've got your Excal, and you've got your Avenger. Any of those would be a significant upgrade over the lightsaber.
Absolutely. So they're Slack getting through. Now we're there.
Hey,
so,
way to go.
And no, we don't care about Cecil or Teledyne because the experience doesn't really matter for them. So there you go.
It always seems to be Bahamut for me too, Mournblade. Every time I go there, come on, sword. Come on, bow. Practically any... Oh.
I mean, we haven't seen Baron in.
Bahamut's great if you have Rydia.
Baron in.
So, it's true.
But usually with how RNG works in this game, it's like, great, I have a Paladin Cecil. Well, good luck finding a sword for him.
Yeah.
So the pink tail probably will not be nice. And the old man, when we do the forge, has gotten tired of us robbing his bookshelf. So he no longer gives us an Excal. So we may be hunting for something here for Cecil.
Though it's my understanding that he no longer gives the Excal, it's basically shoved into the item pool.
It is.
And I feel like that's a holdover from when the crystal in the item pool as part of the key before the objective system. Like, the classic forge was early, and they just swapped the Excal and the crystal.
That's a welcome sight in Baronin.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I will take a white mage. Yeah, a little surprising that Woo didn't go immediately for that pink tail. Just to see if we could get... I mean, I'm not going to knock a light sword. A light sword's fantastic, but...
Yeah, like...
It could be better.
Like, I mean, there's the case of avoiding double dipping versus getting value out of the first trip. I know a lot of runners are worried about dealing with having to come back to the grotto twice, especially if they've moved their hovercraft over to Evelyn or something. And then they just have to rat tail and it feels bad.
Yeah.
But the value of a tier 7 item, especially on T Pro, that's just far too compelling for me. It's very hard for me to pass on.
So it looks like our second spot Baron in is Plague. This is another one of those that we're very happy that we did the ordeals to get the upgrade.
Oh, this is going to be close, though. The timer's when the kill comes in.
Nope. That will save you.
Oh,
so, yeah.
That's as close as it gets.
Plague is rough in some early spots. If you don't have the damage output, it's like, okay, well, you can kill someone, revive them, reset the timer, etc., so forth. Sometimes that gets a little bit complicated, and sometimes you really toe that line of the 0 count, as we just saw on Wu's side, where it's like, don't sneeze, you might die.
Right.
So,
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's the thing.
so you had, but had you considered a moon dive instead?
So about that direction. It's like, I don't know where we're going to go. Okay, now we're going to throw 2 of them at you. Have fun. Choose. So,
and if you choose differently than your opponent, and you don't know what your opponent chose, really hope that your opponent chose wrong.
I mean, is there really there's a different choice here, but is there a wrong choice? I mean, you have a character on Hook Route. It's gated. You have a character on the moon. It's gated. Either could be Fu.
Yeah. So. What I mean, wrong choice, and it's a good point, is the choice that, due to the randomly generated elements, proved to be inefficient. With perfect knowledge, what is more efficient?
Yeah.
You have no way. I'm right.
Yeah,
either choice is perfectly legitimate based on the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. It looks like on Wu's side,
maybe you get something awesome for Cecil, and you feel like, hey, I can take on this move.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, going to the moon, hey, maybe you find a freebie up there. One of the things that we talk about is, you have an Hourglass 2 in your inventory. That puts hair dryers online. So, grab that character on the moon, little blip of experience, possible tier 7 item out of it. It could be a thing. So, but Slack on the other side, though, I don't blame him for this. That pink tail's got to be staring a hole in you right now. And be like, yes, it's a crystal sword. It's not a crystal sword. And
while we're here, let's look. I mean, we already saw the gauntlet here, but let's see if we have elements or demist in this water.
Mm-hmm.
The right time.
I mean, you're there. You're launching the hook. Yeah, it makes sense. So, and Wu going straight for the character. So, will it be a reward or will it be Ed?
Well, it's someone joining the party anyway, right?
That is true. Unfortunately,
who's not fully Ed? We're only.
Well,
you don't hate a quack kid.
No, I don't.
Actually,
not kid.
Like, not only have we not grinded, we haven't even really gotten underway. We haven't even done the mini grind that just gets fake.
So on the black side, we have a pink tail that is, oh, wow.
Hey!
That qualifies as something nice.
Yeah. It's comparable in power to a lightsaber, but what really makes it shine is the boost to strength and agility and the auto berserk.
Mm-hmm. Soma drops on the moon. Okay.
Can't. There's that. I like the trigger instinct. Like, I have Tella. I need me. Wait, I just don't have 20 grand.
Yeah, right.
Like,
money
can't do that on
in
brackets.
This game? Nah, it's not surprising.
In this economy.
So. All right, Wu coming back to Earth. Probably gonna end up doing the turning of the pink tail now, and let's see where they go from here.
Okay, so Slackaholicus is going to go to the inn and get Rosa now. It'll be... No, that Avenger is going to feel real good when he comes up against that Plague.
Yeah, that's one of those where it's like, I'm not against even equipping the Avenger, like just putting it on now and just leave.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
Through like most of the fights, because it just gets him running. immediately.
Yeah, for several reasons. I mean, you don't have to send that action early, and that way the relative agility gets calculated going in. Like Cecil may be fast enough still to be RA1 over Sid, give him that Avenger to hand in, and there's no question.
Yeah. Interesting that he's choosing a Berserk Cecil, though, instead of just putting on the Avenger.
But also interesting.
Yeah.
Look at what he's up to.
Okay.
So,
well,
we've made some joke comments
about making bold plays.
Well, no, not that. But we've been like in some chats I've been with, we've been saying the D money grind is now literally a D money grind. You don't get XP for it, but you get paid in cash.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm curious to see. I mean, okay, all right, you're in here. It's a one-way trip. Are you hoping
to save outside?
Are you hoping for a pair of freebies, possibly here? Maybe like officer soldier at 65k and something else. I mean,
yeah, it looks like he's checking the boss, but it could just be a classic, D money grind of crush the D money.
That's not pleasant.
No, that's not.
Nope, that's
it could be a classic. I'm gonna do D money. I'm gonna power, and when I'm done, I'm gonna punch out the bosses to finish the job. I can't walk back out, but that's fine. And yet, he's going for D money. Oh,
interesting. I'm curious to see. I haven't kept an eye on what he has for like MP based items. I know he has the Lilith rod, so obviously you can swipe MP from people.
Lord Goober in chat said that he bought a couple of Ether 2s.
Okay. All right, so he's got enough to keep Tella online for weeks, so and I know people are probably wondering right now, like, why is he running from the fight that has the Searcher and the 2 Beamers? Because it's not the one. There's actually a chart that shows, based on what you find on encounters, where your D money is going to be. Obviously, by him sticking around in this fight, this is gonna be it.
Brian the Sane, it's still XP. But the reason we're saying that it's really it's been called a D money grind for ages because memes. But the reason we're saying that it's really a D money grind in this flag set is that you, as D Shmoo was saying, you don't get money from selling loot in shops. Everything in shops sells for 0.
Yeah, and money obviously goes a very long ways towards, I mean, some of the things you need to purchase. Obviously once this grind is done, sirens will be off the table. But, anything else, any weaponry, equipment, cures, silk webs, anything of that nature. Because it's S sells 0, you're looking for ways to generate money when you're killing bosses. It's a nominal amount of money. Gold dragons on the moon are a very good source of it. This is another one. But oh, hi Edge.
Give me that vanilla.
Yeah. How you doing? Welcome to the team.
So
come along for the party. Now, I did notice
Wewbear was planning D money, but didn't feel it was worth the time to fly down to Earth and check the Hook character. And this is a solid party at the end of the game.
I mean, this is not a bad party to be doing this.
No, not at all. If you're there, I think if you have the option, I think you swap the Sid for the Edge.
Yeah.
And again, with Sineki, Edge just comes in with a claw or a dinky sword, so you better find him some darts to throw or a better weapon, or you're going to actually feel sad about that choice by the end.
Yeah, I think
not even an automatic snap decision.
No, I think the big thing with this is, obviously you've got your white mage, you have a nuke caster. Tella, in all reality, will be your anchor. You'll have 2 people
you've-
relative agility 1 by the time you're done with this. So yeah, this is gonna be a very traditional kind of just 4-person party, and you go blow up the rest of the seed once you're done with this. The only terrifying part about this is that Mega Sister fight staring you in the face.
Yeah.
Because that is a lot of HP you have to go through that spot.
It's going to take time.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the magic stat there isn't as brutal as you might expect from a high-end spot. So, the bounce spells are not the one-hit kills they can be in other places. But it definitely...
Yeah. No, it's just the fact that it's, 100,000+ HP because of how the split works there.
Yeah. Yeah, but the plan is, like Dishmu was saying in chat, we're going to finish this. We're going to give that rune axe to Big Boy Cecil, who's gotten so much strength from this.
Yep.
And he's going to swing that rune axe into them.
I was going to say, actually Woo did not go check the pingtail, did he, before he did this?
Oh, I don't think he has.
So he can't avenge.
He doesn't have Woo Venger, no.
Oh, that's
or Rune Venger.
Yeah.
Which is a little unfortunate because they effectively have double rune axe.
I was gonna say that the regret will
with the
be
rune
real.
axe in hand. He grabs the Avenger.
Yeah.
Puts the inventory, and then Sid scoops it up and joins the party.
Yeah, the regret will be real post grind. Like, oh, I could have had this. That would have cut the time down a little, but that's okay though. There's other ways. There's berserk glitching that you can do, but that's getting into that higher tech type stuff. But it looks like Slack's gonna peep Cave of Value though.
You like it, especially with a boss on.
I mean, you're up here. It's a rude spot. Treasure chest here, pretty decent.
Yeah.
You have exit. So you don't have to walk out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you're looking for a quick burst of experience, or like we talked about earlier, money, you have a starting siren from your starter kit. You have an hourglass from the rando kit that you got. Just pop a pair of gold dragons, and with a life glitch, you're at 69,000 gold. And now you can start affording things again. Oh.
Right. It's like a whole nother starter kit. Well,
and spoken into existence. There you go.
There's a sparkle, and sure enough, that's exactly what Slackaholicus was up to.
I mean, I like money, and if I have an easy way of getting money, yep, I'm gonna do it. So, yeah, gold dragons don't like weak very much, so you're gonna see him bopped here pretty quick. Oh, and he resets out. That's it. Oh, because of the Avenger.
On the ground?
I'm surprised at that. I feel like
the dragons
just lifed them and gotten them up, but
all right. Here's what I wasn't paying attention to. Was Tella the one throwing the hourglass? Shouldn't it have been, right?
Shouldn't have been based on agility setup right there. Yeah, no.
Right, exactly. So, like if his hourglass thrower got wrecked and he didn't have the hourglass anymore, makes all
that would be a problem.
It would be a serious problem.
Some good commentary here in the chat about how many dragons you do here, and how much of a grind do you need to do. And our restreamer Deathus brings up a valid point. You don't have to go to nuke with this. You don't. You can short it because you'll get a nice dose of experience from both the element spot and the CPU location. So that can finish off your XP plus whatever you get from, killing the rest of whatever you need to finish the seed. So
basically, you need enough to exit the giant efficiently. You got Magisters, but Quake is again your friend here because you have 3 targets.
Yep. There we go. There's the life glitch on the King Ryu, and so
and Wewbear is wrapping it up.
So, and you are going to see Rosa gain some levels here pretty quick, but not as many as levels as what we're going to see on Woo's side. That's a big number. That's 37.
And the other, correct me if I'm wrong, Martin. I've the flag set slightly.
Yes.
Boost is a thing, right?
I'm sorry, what?
EXP no boost?
Yeah, no, there's no slingshot involved in here, so no getting to a cheese with very low level mages and sending them to the moon.
Right, and that's
nope. Everybody's equal. You gotta do it the hard way on this one. So,
and that's another reason we haven't seen D-Money done a lot, because it is just such an efficient use of the slingshot.
Yeah. I mean, for anybody that was around for Zima Zone 3 or any of the prior tournaments, I mean, it was pretty much, if you had early darkness and you had people below the median, 5 characters, you had 2 characters below the median by 5 levels or more, and you had access to this, you go do this, and you put your mages in nuke territory in almost no time at all.
Yeah, and it was far and away the preferred play.
I mean, I can't blame it. I mean, Rydia gets a million experience from 1 to 50. So if I can cut that in half, absolutely, I'm gonna do it.
Right. You don't say the wrong play because don't know what the runner's plan is and what their thoughts are, but definitely the preferred play. Those circumstances, so much so, in fact, that the last couple of tournaments, the flag design has been built specifically to try and create more viable grind options.
I mean, it's a good idea to sit there and, I mean, like, we default back to the last tournament where, hey, guess what? The D machine was kind of the de facto way of, blowing through a seed. So obviously with the taking away the entrance and making it a one-way trip, all of a sudden that puts, some other things on the table. Take away the slingshot. Now it doesn't look so appetizing, except for the rare circumstance where you have a party that it actually works for.
Yeah.
Which, this is one of them. In addition, Fu is a gated character. There are plenty of locations that have gated characters, but you're getting your XP done at once, 2 boss checks, maybe Elements is sitting in one of them, and a shot at a gated character, which may be the only Fu in the entire seed.
Entirely possible.
I'm not seeing the downside of this. So,
and it's extremely unlikely, but it's theoretically possible this to be a required giant.
It could be
either, if it's a Fu character, and the second boss is either Elements or D-Mist holding something critical.
And we joke about that, but we've seen it happen.
We have.
It can be done.
The thing is, if you do this as Wewbear and you don't get that payoff, just fine, because you've powered up and you're ready to tear through everything that's in your path.
Yep.
If you find anything of value in here, gosh, you've got to feel amazing for making this.
Very much so. And Woo is through that. Slack is over at King Queen Evelyn fight 1 on the hook route, which happens to be dolls, so no great loss there. It's actually a wonderful fight to see here. So it's punchy, but J item or 2 can kind of take care of that problem. And seeing the second fight here, this is free no matter which way you slice it. So the question is, which one is it?
Well, it's not the worst.
Nope.
The worst fight would be the gauntlet, because gee, thanks for the XP. But we've seen that in the water.
So who could this? Oh, hi.
Better here than in the spot 1 back.
yeah. Unfortunately, that punch.
That punch is gonna hurt, but
yeah, you can be feeling that punch. So the good part is, because it's only 25,000 of this spot, the wave is not going to take anybody out. So
like you could almost eat. And you'd probably be better. Would be better off eating the waves, although Wewbear's going to shock it.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't think I use a lit 1 there. I think
because
I just keep them waving and just use Rose's Cure 4 and just knock them down that way.
Yeah, you see that wave goes for 1,000, but the thing about K-Nozzle with the water up is he can't punch you through it.
Exactly.
It's fast wave.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that Woo's gonna keep the kid down until we're into, hey, I'm hiding in my shell territory, and then we'll probably get
that's a good spot
to
for that
finish
punch.
it off. So
yeah, he breaks out a life 2 for the kid, and the punch goes to the best place possible. It goes straight for Cecil in that back row.
And Slack, to nobody's surprise, through the hook route. We are underground at 38 minutes.
And Wewbear's in the classic D-money situation of I'm behind at the moment.
And Slack
making it up.
Forgetting a
Oh, wait, turns around, realizes he needs to do the boss check. Nice.
Look, it's 2 steps. You gotta look. It's right there. Knowledge is amazing in this game. So
he caught himself at least.
Yes, please.
Or he's messing with us.
So unfortunately, not elements up there, but it is a bomb. So. Oh, and the kid showing off what happens when K-Nozzle leaves the water up. Ouch. That'll hurt.
Hiding inside the shell.
Yeah, that'll leave a mark. We'll just skip that phase completely. Okay, moment of truth.
Oh boy.
Is it Foo? Or did someone plant Ed here as a funny joke? Oh, wow.
It's a Foo!
Well, now we have interesting decision. Now we have an interesting decision to make. Foo is fantastic, but the kid has MP. So if you're going to play the nuke game, the kid might be a little bit better off in this case, or do you just get rid of Tella?
If I take Foo,
and take the Foo and just run a 20 agility anchor.
Yeah, if I take Foo, I'm leaving the Tella.
You get rid of Sid,
or even just swap for Sid.
Okay, Mages and a Cecil. I like it.
Okay,
I like it. I can work with this.
Like the only thing I would have a hard time like bending over backwards to justify would be ditching part of power couple. I'd be like,
oh no, yeah, no, not at all.
But I can live with any of the other 3, quite honestly.
Yeah. Well, this is gonna be a fun watch now. You are going to get to see Woo literally blow up the entire seed now.
Yeah, like no, you got your money's worth. I mean,
yeah, there's nothing that stands in his way right now at all.
We don't charge for admission other than your time, but it was time well spent watching this, no doubt. Slack is underground. He's going into Dwarf Castle. He's found a pew slow dragon.
Yep, Woo grabbing the hovercraft. Looks like Pink Tail's on the table. Get his Avenger. Possibly wish he had it 10 minutes ago. That's okay. No, not even going to the
He still isn't turning it in.
Wow.
Wewbear seems to be hard committed to. I'm not going there.
Interesting.
It's go mode, or I have a rat tail.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Only a cane.
And it's not the first time on this particular flag set, because we had the same objectives and turn-ins back in the first phase of this tournament. But it's not the first time I've seen a runner make this call.
Yeah.
It's hard when you've got a Cecil. And seen it done. And Cecil's, getting it done with that lightsaber.
Looks like Slack has no patience for waiting for 3 waves and DKC to talk about whatever DKC talks about. So we're just gonna punch him in the face really hard and it goes away.
Yeah, I mean, in the second dwarf spot, that's fair. Even with an underground party, like if Wu goes there, it's going to be like just.
It's gonna get nuked to the face probably. So. It's like, I have no time for your speech. Here you go, microwave, and you're done.
So what is dwarven jewelry?
Yeah. Now, this brings up a valid question now. Oh, there's our Excal in the pool.
Yeah, it got shuffled.
Okay. Now we're in
Castle.
Excal Avenger territory. That's the almost burr. It's not super burr.
Slack will have Excal Avenger. Wewbear will just have Excal, but I suspect that he'll be okay.
Yeah. So where I was going with that is, okay, Wu did the giant, got paid off big time with the foo.
Right.
Your character check is done. Dwarf does have 2 bosses, but it does take time. Do you sit there and you check dwarf? Do you just start, going after, other locations, other routes? Do you go to the moon? I mean,
So there are 2 possible things in play here, I think. At least. One, it is 2 bosses, and we're still looking at demons and or demons. 2, you think that you've got to imagine as Wewbear that Slack did not touch giants. You figure you're all over this play, and you're running behind him, and you plan on catching up. And you put yourself in Slackaholicus's shoes and say, what would he do? And if you think the giant, you ask yourself, do I come up behind him in case it's an objective that he went for, or do I go my own way?
Right. I mean, obviously the advantage Wu has is, I don't know, level 52. So no matter
basically,
what, he blows up anything he touches.
Yes, all spots are free. Nothing slows him down.
So you might
March, for instance, is a spot where he can go, my opponent might not do this, but I can crush it.
Yeah. Yeah, do you just play the full clear game, and whatever items you trip on, do you just follow them to their conclusion and go from there? I mean, it's not a bad thing to do with that party.
And these were things that these were questions we had to answer all the time in prior flag sets. Except that you expected your opponent to have cleared the giant too.
Yeah, sure.
Still the same question. Everything is free. Where do I go?
Not only sirens, but the freebie was the pan. And this is why you check your freebies, because there's nothing worse than going down and having to talk to Yang, and then getting the pan, having to go back and smack Yang. That's a lot of walking.
This is one of my favorite spots to check pan, because I tend to accept double dipping self and of getting to a shield quickly. That tends to be. So I love finding a pan here in Feymarch so that I don't even have to worry about it.
All right, so here's the thing about that Feymarch. We know who's on the left because we already saw one of them. So that fight can be cheesed very easily. Golbez with that spell power will blow himself up. So the march is doable, but it takes time. Unless you're Wewbear. And then it's going to just get nuked into oblivion. So
yes. So this might.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Wu actually take both those bosses out when he goes to the march.
Yeah, thinking over it, I think Wewbear does go to Feymarch because it's the case of following up. If you do something your opponent didn't do, you follow up on what that lets you get. And we normally talk about that in terms of a key item, where it's more cut and dry. You find a cheeky earth crystal, for instance. You go to Zod. In this case, the cheekiness is the fact that you can punch the Feymarch.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, that pan and that first item from Smacking Yang, though, that is music.
It is. So
that is interesting.
And that'll be the fun thing for Wewbear. He's gonna see this pan. He's gonna know there are freebies, but he also knows power to deal with this Fey March. So
Yeah.
interested to see if he sticks around to not avoid coming back, or if that pan is strong enough to pull him away.
And as both commentator and racer, we always think about, all right, well, how much time does it take for me to come back? Like, if I go do things, am I willing to live and die off not doing the Fey March? Or if I have a party strong enough to literally blow it right out of the water, do I spend the couple minutes, do it now, and just live with the fact that whatever the items are, if it's a samurai helmet and a longsword, well, you know what? So be it.
And it looks like he's going for it right now.
Yeah. And hey, we can get underground now.
And chat brings up a very amusing potential, one that's bad news for Wewbear. The heavy dream of elements guarding the legend sword.
The filthy double.
Would mean that foo is completely unneeded.
We've seen that harp more times than I'd like to freely admit. Always have a double objective or something that leads to the double objective. So that would not surprise me at all.
Yeah.
So, but I like to play from Woo here. I like to play from Slack here. I mean, it's, like I say, it's an item, it's a direction. You follow it, you see where it leads you. And it's an objective, so.
Yeah, you've got to chase that harp, and getting the freebies on the way is good too. Like, forbid you forget to turn the pan in because you sat through music.
Yeah.
Never happened. No, yeah, Lord Hayati, foo isn't completely invaluable. There's definitely value to having the foo in hand. It's just that, was it worth the time when you could have just gone straight through what Slack is going through for Go mode? There's a lot more value in getting the foo when it also cuts you out of having to get one of the other objectives. But if that's not the case, massive chain, then that's the issue.
That's a Baron key.
Yeah.
So that is not nothing, but we are going to live and die on the fact that Golbez does not have what we need to finish the game.
Yeah.
So,
but understand.
We have other things to talk about.
Yeah, or not talk about.
In bed. Yeah.
DJ Spoony Bard.
Should have left him on the ground there. We could have had the music either way, but yeah. A lot of songs, a lot of music. We're going to be quiet. Listen, enjoy. A little bit of Diddy Kong Racing for your lives, and
Wewbear giving us a scare there, taking off up to turn in the pink tail.
and remembered that,
Forgotten about that
I have a
fan, but then passed over it, turning it in, and went, oh, ooh, whoa.
Yeah, oops. But yeah, amazing music. Thank you to obviously the people that have done the Calamity, huge. I know even our tracker, Xenocat, has a couple songs in there as well. But yeah, 240, a lot of music, and still haven't heard them all.
Yep, and that gives Slackaholicus objective 2.
Yeah. All right, so I would say, yeah, probably put a save here first, and Keyless Tower.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not against it.
No, like
Keyless Tower pays off more often than I like to admit.
Right, especially for Slack, who doesn't have the power to go after the moon. You've already done Dwarf. You can come here. You can go down to Feymarch. You can go to the moon. Those are pretty much his choices.
Yeah. Either we talked about the march and what's doable there, what isn't. We do know obviously that Myelon and friends on the left has the Baron key, which could lead to something.
Yeah. Neither runners checked Mist Cave or Vanilla Demist.
I had it happen last night. So yeah, it can be a thing.
And given our restreamer,
vanilla Dathis himself, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, see, there's our restreamer right there. And it's like, what? Yeah, I'm vanilla. So, and but we got a mom bomb up here on the top of the tower.
Yeah. Time to deal with that.
Yeah, with Excalibur says, "Oh, this bomb is not long for this world." So I'm sorry.
Yeah, Wewbear still not so much playing catch up with Slack, because at this point there's been a little bit of divergence. Taking out that Mile and friends, and that's probably going to lead to more Baron key divergence, because I think most people on the surface with a Baron key in hand are doing that well before they do it.
Yeah. It's obviously we know the starting boss, but that still leaves 2 bosses and 2 items in there. And you're pretty much within flying distance of it. Yes, you're going there immediately after this.
Yeah, just generally speaking, advantage Wewbear, if only for the sheer power. He's going to make faster, and there's going to be checks he's able to take that Slackaholicus isn't. But we're in divergence territory.
I wouldn't say couldn't. I would say more of could, but time consuming. Like,
yes,
we ask ourselves. Yeah, we ask ourselves a lot, like when we play the game or when we come. It's like, all right, I can do that goal base. It's gonna take a minute. If I come back later, it'll take less time.
Yeah,
Blue doesn't exactly have that problem with nukes and whites and there's no concept of time with Woo. It's how fast can I get the spells off and how fast does it die.
Yeah, that's a very important distinction.
Yeah, but music round 2.
We're gonna take another break.
Yeah, I like breaks. boy, does that Xcal Cecil hit hard with levels. Oof.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're sad to say that the Antlion did not make its customary trip to the moon in this seed, so we will miss it dearly.
Well,
but speaking of moon, yeah,
decided to make the move.
Yeah, did not check the Mursame altar. We know there is a lunar sparkle sitting in the Cave of Value. There's 3 of them left. 2 of them you really never want to see.
Yeah. I mean, because Slackaholicus at this point is a March or Moon, and let's just hit the Moon. We can find something free-ish to finish the leveling off, and
it's quantity. It makes sense. So.
And started the white.
Hi.
Yeah. Isn't the worst spot for Val. We're gonna swing through, but be pleasant. I'll go Burr.
It's one of those time things. Once again, it's like, if I had Kane right now, knock her out of her spin, and all of a sudden the damage goes way up. Wu, on the other hand, level 50 plus Cecil, it's gonna cut this fight down quite a bit.
Yeah, as far as hit points go, this is one of the lowest hit point spots on the moon, and Cecil is cutting through, except for that first swing.
28,000 HP.
To 3,000 damage.
Not 27,834, but yes, 28,000 HP at this spot.
Yeah. So, it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to give Slack some very useful levels and make the other spots a little easier.
You know what's going to take no time? Watch Wu's screen.
Yeah, we don't even have time. We don't have time for this. We're done.
No. Sorry. There you go. I mean, I feel like it's an effective way to cut a speech down. Is just microwave it. It works wonders.
And I like Wu's timing there.
Yep.
Someone, myself included, might have just quaked and called it a day, but by throwing the nuke out and letting the queen self-destruct, he has time to put his anchor on.
Queen's like, I want none of that. I'm just gonna, bye. Bye, take care. And Wu doing the swipe play, obviously when you have the levels, it doesn't matter. So yeah, you go check the Baron basement and, oh, hey, look, there's the other guards.
Yep.
Are we going to get a C? Has coffins. Okay, I was going to say off-slot telecasting stone is always an event, but at least these are guaranteed to work all the time. So
yeah, and doesn't even need to bother life glitching here after everything else.
Nah, you're done with levels. Looks like Slack took a reset out of Val, though. Val can be a bit rough. Oh. Hi.
And you don't mind this?
Nope. That's 2 more bosses. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, yeah, you definitely don't mind the Earth.
Val had a charmer. Okay.
Don't mind the Leviathan at Ribbon. That could be much worse.
I have to say, the way this is shaping up for Wu, I'm honestly beginning to wonder if this is one of those fabled the moon has nothing seeds.
The
amount of things that Wu can do, it's the possibility is still there. So, oh hey, what a great spot to see this. By the way, you shouldn't cast spells on Ogopogo because it counters with Blaze. Unless you can kill it in one shot and then nobody cares.
Yes.
So, this is an acceptable use of nuke right here, folks.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that Palom was at, it looked like 49.9% of his. Granted, he doesn't need the levels, but it's still
Yeah. Death has nailed it right there. Yeah, I counter spells. That's cute. Yeah, moving on. Oh, we're through. Who's the character, by the way? Hey! It's an anchor.
Hey, kiddo.
Yeah, bye, Tella.
Switch out to more agility anchor.
Yep, welcome to not having to worry about agility ever again. That's beautiful. So now, the reason why we take that, Tella's not really a problem, because between Cecil and, you have agility to kind of cover the spread for RA1. But 4 agility on Rydia now makes Foo RA1, and that can do some very fun things as well. So, but I did see that on Slack side. What did you see?
I saw both a rat tail and a legend sword. So the moon is completely haunted.
Nope. That is useful. That completes our forge. So, and a sand ruby. Well, we know who's in bed. We didn't really care who's in bed.
He's at 10 key items. Hey.
Oh.
No. The moon is hard required.
Wow.
Coming out of nowhere to land in go mode.
Okay, this is a problem.
What's up?
All right.
Oh, you understand what Wewbear's doing here. We talked about it earlier. You follow up on what your opponent didn't do.
Yeah, now here's the thing.
Left Mylon behind, you follow the Baron key all the way through. It just doesn't happen to have what he needs. It's all on the moon, and Slack is about to hit go mode.
Yes, now here's the catch. Slack finishes this. He has to go back to Earth to do the forge, and he does not have a pass, which means he's coming back. Woo, this really needs to lead to nothing, and he needs to get to the moon because he doesn't have to come back. Once he finds elements, the only problem is you go up there. Yeah, you're on an item and a boss hunt, and what's the default? You usually default to lunars, or do you just face check everything and hope elements?
Exactly.
That is the question. Yeah.
Do you just face check, hoping for the elements? If he finds the elements and he walks,
hey, look who it is,
straight down, and now we have another chance for him to pull a rabbit hole.
Yeah, can we talk about that
rabbit hole
right there?
And tower key is a rabbit hole.
Hi, D.Mist. How you doing?
Although Slack's bouncing off these elements in a way that Wewbear won't whenever he gets there. So that'll give him some time back.
Yeah, I don't know if Slack has the levels for Reflected Fire 3 strats on this one. It's punchy. You're gonna take some damage at this. I'll be brutally honest, you do not want to see this shift into Ruby's form at this spot. Because
no, you really don't.
You die in a ball of fire. It is unpleasant in every form of the word.
Yeah, you might not even make it to the glares. The Fire 3.
Yeah.
The punches are no joke either. I mean, and again,
either that or, okay, let's get cute here. Let's say you queue up a Starveil right now and you get Telecasting Ice 3 right now. And as soon as it shifts forms, you dump it right on Ruby and you end the fight. That might work.
That could work because then, because glare won't reflect, right? But the Fire 2 and 3 at least will. The time.
See, the Fire 2 is bad. It's the Fire 3 that's okay. All right.
Oh, but he shifts it through.
Yep.
Nice.
And now that Holy Sword is going to come and play, and hey, there's another Foo in Earth. That's all old man all the time, hey.
Yeah, with that shift, on, Slack has gotten through the worst part of the elements fight.
Yeah.
That being said, still go punchy.
Here's the other thing we didn't take into the equation as well. Once Slack gets through this, assuming we're okay, or once he gets through this, he still has to probably dump a few eggs.
Yeah, but
on Earth as well too, and that's going to take time.
Even as hard as this Val is hitting, I'm not convinced it's safe yet.
I mean, I don't blame Slack here for throwing his entire inventory at this thing, because you want to get through this fight, and there you go.
There it is. Yeah, no, this is for go mode. The only other thing you're conceivably saving this for is Z, and you've already off this once.
Yep. Okay, so on Wu's side, this cannot be a tower key. So what else leads Wu on chase right now? Probably Luca?
Yeah, that's about the only thing.
Specifically Luca.
Yeah, we know it's not Rat Tail either. So yeah, Luca here or Demus is a chase.
All right. So we probably spy D.Mist because, hey, it's D.Mist and we're looking for an item anyways, and then you're off to the moon. That's probably where this is going.
Yep. And again, if he bottom up and just face checks, he finds the elements quick. But
yeah, and you're straight to Z right after that. So.
If he gets the Legend Sword, then he comes down.
Yes.
Without doing anything else. Of course, this could be a pass.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why you always enter Mist from the right side.
Yes.
Don't enter from the left, because guess what? You're kind of trapped if you do that.
Although, in this case, Cecil or Rosa could just cast exit and call it a day. But yes, you just make it a habit to enter from the right side.
Yep. It's safer for everyone.
And sure enough, Wewbear heading up to the...
Interesting, Slack's turning the Rat Tail. Oh, you know why? It's quick, and it could be the pass.
Yes, it's quick enough.
It could save
you the wall.
Oh, it's not the pass.
It's that Luca key.
Yep. So, unfortunately, we probably will never see where the pass is because it does not show in the end game. So it's somewhere out there.
We can speculate just by what checks we haven't seen.
We'll just say it's at Luca.
It could be anywhere on the moon that hasn't been touched.
We'll just say it's at Luca. It's over there somewhere.
Slack still needs to do a little bit of grinding, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's got 10 sirens, so he'll dump some eggs, and now he does have he should have a bit of money, so we may see a purchase here from the forge. Maybe find a nice little power shirt or something would be useful. Yeah.
Speaking of,
kind of like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, folks. It's a habit. I'm terrible. My bad.
Wewbear is going to top down. Wants to find the quick out. He's got 2 outs for 1. Especially if he's in face check mode. Makes all kinds of sense.
Now, see, usually
you don't turn this down.
Yeah, no, you're like, oh, I'm just going to reset.
I don't care if you're in face check mode or not.
Yeah, no, you just sit through this.
And he was even kind enough to knock down his anchor for him. I mean, what more can you ask for? These are definitely not.
And although at the rate that Cecil's swinging and doing damage, are we even going to see the ouch? Okay, we did. That was a close call. I didn't know if we were going to get there or not. Wow.
That had been a White Spear altar. I don't think we would have.
Yeah, right? Now, a lot of people here, they see that life staff and they reset. It's actually faster, believe it or not, to just sit that out, walk back, and continue down. Because of that wonderful animation that you have to go through to get down here, it's actually faster to just be like, okay, it's nothing, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. And especially if you didn't get so beat up that you feel a need that you've got to heal. So granted, if you're going all the way down, regardless of where you're going next, if you need to heal, you got to save.
So now here's the question on Wu's side. We talked about, obviously, going to the D lunar spot, pulling legend from that, you're in go mode. you think of all the spots that Wu has checked in the game, and how many bosses are still left out there that he hasn't seen. So hasn't, that went down, hook route. So saw the top of tower. So you haven't really seen Super Cannon. You haven't seen Luca. You didn't check the package boss.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, none of them checked Mist Cave either. So that's 4 bosses out of the pool. Do you sit there and literally, regardless of the Legend Sword, you just check for a boss up here and just play the game that, yes, Elements is up here somewhere? Because you don't have the pass.
I think that if you want to face check, I think if that's your fault, if I get Legend that's not good enough, I'm going to look for Elements. And you just, unless you get something breezy like that karate.
Yeah.
So I think if that's your plan, you just don't take the fights. You look for Elements first, and if you don't see it, then you worry about turning over rocks.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I play with this.
But yeah, since Wewbear's taking the time to punch each boss,
yeah,
if he finds a Legend, he's going to call it.
This wall cheats.
Or he's going through, looks like you.
I don't like cheating walls. Cheating walls suck.
Yeah. This might play just on the power of Cecil in the back row.
Yeah. Based on what you said, though, I do think that when this turns up to be nothing, as it probably will, you just reset out and get basically all
taken
your
all this
feedback
pain.
and just continue on.
Yeah, just go back to your save.
Yeah.
Unless it's the past, then you keep it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you feel a lot better about
Slack is back on the moon. I did not see a ton of eggs come out of Slack here.
I saw a few. I didn't see his level. But whatever it is, he feels good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, with that cat claw, resets out. So it's possible that Slack ends up giving some time just if he doesn't get through the Z fight on the first go.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what he's about and thinks that Slack is ready to roll. He does have Avenger and Rosa. And
I'm gonna put you on the spotlight since though you are the more or less the creator of the power couple flag set. What you have?
Sure.
Excal Avenger Cecil. You have Cure 4 on Rosa. Do you really need anything else?
No. I mean, I think that by the time you get Cure 4 on Rosa, she's got the hit points to survive an unnerfed big. That's all you need of it. You need to be able to beat an unnerfed big.
Yeah. I mean, the fight takes a little bit longer, but I mean, it's more or less guaranteed unless you get really badly high rolled. You're pretty much there. So 47 on Cecil, 46 on Rosa. You're at 2K on Rosa.
Yeah, depends on her gear.
Yeah.
High roll could put her down at 2K.
Yeah.
She's got really strong gear. She can dodge it. But
we're done. We're going to Z. This is it.
Yep. Wewbear's in with the Leviathan. He's about to get that.
Hey, Commander.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Z flags.
Yeah, I see that.
What are Z? Is it nap time?
Nap time sounds kind of good.
It does. All right. Good night, everyone. Take care.
I'll have fun. You know what's up.
Yep. You can follow. But not really where the Z flags.
No, really. Crystal is used on Zeromus. Turns into one of 528. I'm starting to lose count. Different sprites. And because of that, there's a question we like to ask around now, isn't there?
I think there is. What is the question?
Whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
There you go. And while we're waiting to see said, but Wu did get the Legend Sword and immediately zip right out.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were either in face check mode or in item mode, and if you're in item mode, you're moving.
Yep.
And yeah, Slack is probably through this, but if it...
We've seen stranger things happen.
Roll, something, a really high roll, an odd miss menu, something like that.
Yeah, sometimes Z doesn't play. Oh, God.
Ah, the lobsters!
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst enemy widely considered in Final Fantasy 1. These things are terrible. Anyone that's played the game knows exactly what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, I have. I've seen that formation.
Yeah.
Little
it's like run,
hags hanging out behind them.
You fail running, and then they just kill you. So, that was really fast.
It's properly nerfed. And next, and Cecil's swinging in for 5K.
All right, Wu's got his forge done, turn in. He's gone back to the moon.
Edge throwing.
Oh, no, he's dumping a save. Interesting. What is he? Oh, he's going to try the rat tail, see if it's the pass.
Rat tail for pass.
I don't blame him. Yep.
Yeah, you do it.
Yep.
But
unfortunately, we already know the answer, but
we know there's no joy, but you absolutely make this check.
Yeah. If it saves you 3 minutes and it costs you 20 seconds, you make the check.
Yep. And now he's going to go up. And that same there, Rosa all the way down to 100 before she landed that Cure 4. So
yeah,
that heal. She's gonna need a little more.
I mean, the Avenger is wonderful because obviously it takes care of that whole black hole problem of having to reset people back up. So that's Cecil's just gonna swing until either they die or Z dies, one of the two.
Splashes out a little.
Yeah, we'll top off there on Rosa. It's a good idea.
And it's looking good for Slackaholicus here.
Yep. Just sit there on that, wait, and fire. There you go.
See where this one hits.
Yep. You're still fine.
She's cleanly through. Only at 1600. That. At what, 7K each?
Yeah, about 7K a turn. So you're outside of combo platter territory, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do we have another big bang coming through, or are we clear?
It's gonna be close.
Okay, so there's the nuke. And then on our Zerker. Edge waiting for his Zerk. Quick focused Cure 3 to get Cecil back. And
we have rocks.
We have nuke into rocks. And that almost puts Cecil down. But the Cure 3 is going to pick him back up. Even if it did put Cecil down, we still had a ninja slicing and dicing for a bit.
And that is it.
Do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our winner.
Coming out of nowhere with that early aggressive moon dive. Your GG's out in chat, and we are joined by Slackaholicus in the booth.
Whew.
Hi.
Hi.
That's a fair reaction.
You doing?
It's not two of my favorite people.
Thank you.
GG, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for killing lobsters, by the way.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm happy for that one. So, that seed.
Ooh,
wow.
man.
Oh, wow.
That overworld, I felt behind for most of the seed because of how bad the overworld went for me. There was a lot of deaths up there that I was not happy about. Some bad RNG, like getting hit by an entangle, that wasn't fun.
Oh, that Bygone. Oh my God.
That
man.
Bygone had your number there.
He knew exactly how to handle me.
Yeah.
Bygone.
I wanted to do that early in case it was a bad hook route. So I was like, okay, we're gonna go here. I feel strong enough with my Sid. We should be able to clear this place out pretty much no problem. Because I wanted to be able to save Fabul for Paladin Cecil, be able to get some extra levels on him. And then the hook route ended up being really easy, and I got early moon access for an early Gold Dragon grind.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very good play on your part there. So I figured the money would come in handy when you did that one, and yeah, that nice little power shirt there at the end for good measure.
I was like, yes, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Take a quick dip. I was hoping for a power shirt, a Zeus gauntlet, or a weapon upgrade for Edge, and any of those would have been fine, and I got one of them. Perfect.
Yeah. How happy were you when you saw the Avenger, courtesy of the Pink Tail?
I was pretty stoked about that. That was a nice help. We had the access to the double Zerkers anyway, but I haven't seen an Avenger in weeks. I couldn't even remember what to do with it. I was like, hold on, I got to equip this thing, right? Do I switch over to it? Right? Okay.
I think we saw that the very first fight you got into.
Plague.
We're like, why is Slack berserking when he has an event?
Well, I was trying to berserked the wrong target because I forgot where the cursor was going to be and whiffed that.
That's fair.
Didn't put the Avenger on, and I was like, this is just a couple minutes wasted right now. I'm going to die here. I'm not making it through Plague. And here's a couple more minutes lost. And after the Plague fight, I feel like the Seed went mostly okay. I liked a lot of the decisions I made. I unfortunately left the Avenger on for my first my first Gold Dragon grind, which then it didn't matter anyway because they took out my 2 life users and my weak user. So it was like, okay, I'm just gonna reset this, not a big deal, and we'll try this again. And reset it, got that done. Hook route was a breeze. Everything after that was pretty much a breeze, which was nice.
Yeah.
Aside from the Elements location.
That was a fun one. I don't know if you've talked to Wu, but Wu started going top down. Stopped at the Legend Sword. And if it went one more check, it would have been Elements to Z, and this would have been really close.
Yeah.
So,
where was Fu?
Fu was on the Giant.
He was Giant. I wondered. Oh my god.
Yeah. And
first he was on the Giant, but also he was hanging out in Tower of Zot, which you can
get
the Mylon and Friends has the Baron key, and Baron Basement has the Earth Crystal.
Wow, what a convoluted mess.
Yeah. No, Wu did a very interesting play of using that Tela, leaning on it and going.
Giant, he was saying that he did Giant and did the money grind.
Did
blew it
and
up.
He found the Fu there, and because of that, you were underground first. But it looked for a long time like Wewbear was going to do the classic move from the old tournaments of, I do my D money, I give you some time, but I make it up. And
but I'm going to steamroll everything else.
And that's what we were seeing was every fight. It's just, hey, nuke to the face and the fight's over, and it's like time just beginning. But yeah, no, you kept pace and very, very good cutoff on just the right amount of levels and HP you needed.
Just got there. Ooh, that was real close.
Rosa was kind of skating the line there a bit. So, but yeah, GG, you are in the round of 32.
Thank you very much. I'm nervous. Let's go with nervous now. Well, it's only going to get tougher from here.
It really is, but I'm looking forward to seeing it, hopefully commentating a few. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go enjoy your win, and yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for restreaming, everybody watching. Appreciate it greatly, and enjoy talking to Wewbear.
Yeah, take care.
Definitely.
And yeah, Wu is finished.
Yeah.
To nobody's surprise, with that amount of power on that team, that was a foregone conclusion. And hey, we are joined by a Wewbear.
Ooh.
Hey, that giant.
You like that?
Man.
Yeah,
we saw it. I'm like, I like the idea of maybe finding elements up there. Maybe it's the only foo in the seed, and this might be the first time we've seen it all tournament. And
right,
boy, was that slick.
And we were talking about it. We liked it before we saw the foo. We're like, this is legit with no other payoff, just for speeding through everything else. But then the foo dropped, and boy,
yeah.
All the stars aligned on that one, because when I was coming back from Moon, I'm like, this is the perfect party. I have my tank with Cecil, and I get the 3 mages. Well, 2 mages at that. But I was like, okay, if they have either 2s at Mysidia, then I'll do it. And sure enough, I go in there, they have either 2s, and I'm like, damn it, we should be doing this, but all right.
Yeah.
So like that extra power for the hook route, it made sense, but.
Yeah, no, we talked about that with Slack. It's, Woo did hook route, or not hook route, but giant. But the payoff was you were beginning to catch up time on every fight afterwards. So it was going to be obscenely close until that legend sword.
Yeah.
That legend sword.
On that one.
Yeah, we saw that. It's like, do you face check? Do you... Hooray, I have the legend sword, let me get back to Earth, and it just...
Yeah, we weren't sure when we saw karate. It's like, you could still be in face check mode, but you take this karate nonetheless. But when you started fighting the evil wall, we knew you were taking each item, and that when you legend sword, you were in.
Well, was that the mode you were in?
I never know what to do in that situation, honestly. It's like you're missing a boss and an item. So it's like, do you just face check everything, and then like if it's not there, you just kill stuff? Because it still could have been like Tower Key, Luca, package. There's still a few. So I've done it both ways. I've done it where I face check everything, and then I regret it, and then it's just I never know what to do in that specific situation.
Yeah.
And honestly, Wewbear, I don't know what the right call is there. The quote unquote right call, but.
Well, I definitely should have at least checked
which one you were doing.
Yeah, I definitely should have at least checked after I get Legend Sword. Like at least Plague Spot. Ogopogo's a bit not too far, but Plague Spot was like right there, right? But I definitely should have at least peeked before going down the Forge. But yeah.
Unfortunately, is what it is. But so unfortunately, your tournament, does come to an end. But overall, I mean, how do you feel you did?
I felt tournament? Played good. I don't know. that the seed specifically. I agree. I think I played good. Last one, yesterday not so much, but this one I felt good.
So I'm guessing we can expect to see in the next tournament, whatever it may be.
Yeah, if they'll have me, absolutely.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. So, any last words there, Woo, before we let you go?
No. Same as always. Thanks everyone. Doing the buttons and the commentating and the restreaming and all that, and GG's to Slack. It was a really fun best of 3. And
excellent.
Good luck
showcase.
to him in the fair and balanced already down a loss next round.
The Prof Gory, no less.
Yes, number 3 seed, Prof Gory.
We may have slightly omitted to tell him that part when we were interviewing him, but it's fine. He'll figure it out. It's fine.
Yeah, I am not envious of that situation, but I believe in Slack.
Yeah. All right, Woo, take care of yourself. Once again, GG on the finish.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you around in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can maybe do ladder stuff now, because I've been kind of slacking on that.
Yeah, ladder stuff. There's good ladder stuff. I hear there's a flag set there you're passing familiar with.
All right. Anyways, thanks everyone again. It was a really fun tournament. I love everyone. Good night.
All right. Take care, Woo.
Love you too, man. Take care.
Oh, man. Commander, the week is done.
It is.
The round of 32 is set. There's probably a mad scheduling race going on right now.
Probably.
Are you ready?
Worry about
Are you ready for all the amazing races next week? Because I am.
I'm as ready as I can be.
Oh, baby.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Speaking of good, I think we do have a direction we're sending everybody. I've been told that I believe we're going to go say hi to Mr. Coughlin.
Yeah.
Who's ironically, after dealing with those lobsters, doing some Final Fantasy 1 step routing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, but our time here is
huge
done.
Friend of the community.
Huge. He's wonderful. So go say hi. Obviously, don't spoil the race. There are people who do like to watch these post haste. So please don't. We know where you live. Don't. If a newspaper randomly shows up on your doorstep, you did something wrong. Just letting you know. Just saying. Not that I've had one appear yet. But other than that, Commander, this was fun. I've been looking forward to this. So
same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And obviously to Dathis, to Xeno, to Berserk. Berserk got called out. We call it Berserk again. All of you, enjoy the rest of your Sundays. We'll see you back next week. We got some good races coming up.